I studied jurisprudence back in 2009, but since then I've been teaching jurisprudence for over 10 years now. And in today's episode, I want to talk about the things that I would do differently if I was studying jurisprudence in 2026. In this episode, we'll primarily cover three things. Number one, the true essence of studying jurisprudence as I have understood it. Number two, the most common mistakes students make today. And number three, some actionable things I would do in 2026 to understand jurisprudence properly. So if you're on your journey through jurisprudence in 2026, this episode is for you. Now, this is important not because the subject has changed, but because the world around us has. For instance, artificial intelligence is reshaping legal practice, courts are grappling with moral legitimacy, and many law students still treat jurisprudence as an abstract, impractical obstacle rather than one of the most powerful intellectual tools in law. Hi and welcome back to the channel. In this channel, we explore the fascinating world of law with an emphasis on the more philosophical questions like what is law and why do we follow law? Let's get started. At its core, jurisprudence is not about memorizing theories, but unfortunately, that's how a lot of students see it. It's not about reciting Austin, Hart, Dworkin, or Marx in your exam answer. The true essence of jurisprudence is this. It trains you to think about what law is, what the law ought to be, and why people obey the law at all. Jurisprudence often asks the uncomfortable questions about law, like is law merely a command of a sovereign, or does morality limit legal authority? Can unjust laws still be considered valid law? Does legality come from power, procedure, morality, or social acceptance? Is the law created by the rich to oppress the poor? Is the law created by men to dominate upon women, etc.? If constitutional law tells you what a law says, jurisprudence asks, why should this law exist? Who gives it legitimacy? What makes a valid law? What happens when law conflicts with justice and morality? In 2026, when algorithms are capable of drafting contracts and predictive policing exists, and the courts are increasingly relying on data, the importance of jurisprudence is increasing, not decreasing. Jurisprudence teaches you how to question what the law is instead of merely blindly applying it. By the way, I've also published a book which covers the basics of jurisprudence, which you can check out by clicking on the links which are in the description below. Now, having taught jurisprudence for over a decade, I've seen firsthand the kind of mistakes that students make. Let me summarize the major ones. Number one, treating jurisprudence as a memorization subject. The biggest mistake that students make when approaching jurisprudence is treating it like a history exam. Memorizing definitions, memorizing thinkers, and reproducing mechanical answers. This is fatal. In jurisprudence, examiners are not testing your recalling capacity, they're testing your conceptual reasoning. For instance, if you can't properly explain why Hart criticized Austin, or why Dworkin criticized legal positivism, or why Hart and Devlin disagreed on what morality is, you don't really understand jurisprudence. Number two, ignoring contemporary relevance. Students often study jurisprudence like it stopped in the 20th century. For example, they fail to ask, what does legal positivism mean in the age of AI judges? How does natural law theory apply to human rights enforcements? Can law remain morally neutral in a deeply divided society? For instance, can an AI judge understand concepts such as justice, equality, and fairness when making law, as Dworkin suggested? Or are today's average citizens slaves to the big data companies, putting them at their mercy like Marx suggested? Jurisprudence thrives in helping us make sense of current legal crises. Ignoring this and treating jurisprudence like a history lesson makes your understanding shallow. Number three, separating jurisprudence from real law. Many students think that jurisprudence does not have a practical value. This is completely inaccurate. Jurisprudence helps us to sharpen constitutional arguments, human rights litigations, judicial reasoning, and legal policymaking. For instance, understanding the Hart-Devlin debate will help you understand why certain controversial laws are passed or not passed in particular societies. For instance, it would help you understand why conservative countries may not pass laws legalizing gay marriage. And the debate will help you understand the arguments of both sides. Now, if I was studying jurisprudence in 2026, here is what I would do. Number one, study jurisprudence through problems, not theorists. Instead of focusing only on legal thinkers, I would ask questions like, should immoral laws be obeyed? Can courts override democratic decisions? Does legal certainty matter more than justice? Then I would map the philosophers to these problems, and in doing so understand the interplay between these writers. This approach builds understanding, not just memorizing. For instance, the question of should immoral laws like kill all blue-eyed babies be obeyed will lead you to the natural law writers dating back to the Greeks who were against it, and to the modern day positivists who saw it as justified if passed properly. Number two, connect jurisprudence to modern legal developments. I would actively connect jurisprudence to the most pressing legal issues of the modern day, like artificial intelligence in decision making, surveillance and state power, data protection rights, human rights enforcement failures, etc. This makes jurisprudence intellectually alive and makes your answers seem more sophisticated. It will also tell the examiner that you properly understand jurisprudence and that you're not just memorizing the writer, and you understand it from a deeper and practical stance. Number three, write short analytical notes, not long summaries. I would stop writing long notes on legal philosophers, especially tracing their history. Instead, I would focus on one-page comparisons and criticism-focused notes. Jurisprudence rewards clarity of thought, not volume. So if you can explain a complex legal theory in a few words or using a simple anecdote, it shows that you truly understood the theory. Number four, practice explaining concepts out loud. If you can't explain natural law or legal positivism in simple words, you don't really understand it. What I would do is record myself explaining concepts or teach them to peers. I would simplify arguments until they were precise and clear. This dramatically improves your legal reasoning and as a result, your examination answers. Number five, use technology to help you condense and zoom in on the relevant arguments. I know I sound super old when I say this, but when I was studying jurisprudence back in 2009, we had to reach tomes of books to understand anything. And finding a specific argument was next to impossible without reading multiple books. But today, life is much simpler. If you know the right commands, you can use AI to help you zoom in on the exact article and the exact part you need. AI can search the entire web in a matter of minutes and find all the relevant writers and arguments, making your life infinitely easier. Of course, I have to make a disclaimer here. AI is notorious for hallucinating. So you need to make sure you verify and deep dive into the findings of AI to make sure that it's accurate. But if you can use AI properly, it can be a great aid in studying jurisprudence. For instance, reading the writings of Plato, Socrates, or even someone like Hobbes might be tough because of the way the language is used by these writers. But using AI, you can pinpoint the exact argument you want and even get it summarized in simple English. Of course, studying is not an exact science, and so my way might not work for everyone. But jurisprudence is not a hurdle to clear. It is a lens through which law becomes meaningful. If you study it properly, it can change how you think, argue, and even see the world. So if you're studying jurisprudence today, don't treat it like an academic burden. Treat it like intellectual enlightenment on how the world works. And as always, if you enjoyed the episode, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And click on the link which is on screen now to understand different jurisprudential theories. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.